good with you?
That's fine. Yeah, and I guess Innovator uh, has like a time conflict with the meeting, right? So he's not able to do it
Yeah.
synchronously. But I looked at some of his. First, I guess you had put the comments on here for him.
Yeah, I just copied from he put it in these things. So I just put it
Mm-hmm.
in but he's saying the work that started with Bankless Academy Guide and now in the interim stage of revised but not published version 2 needs volunteers to move it forward. We have developed half a module over a good number of weeks now, but I think he needs to add that this is web VM course.
So he needs more members to get involved with him on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's been Innovator 3 and myself who's been working on this. And excuse me, just 1 second. And I'm not sure how. What would you guys think? Like, how should we get people involved? Should we do a meeting where we discuss the Web3, like the whole agenda for a day is that project, and discuss how can we work on it? Do you think that would be a way?
We could do that. Now, I don't know how does that fit in with like the educational meeting. Could it be like an educational session on, well, like treat it as like an educational session on going through the tool and then getting feedback?
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Oxlos, you are a bit far from your microphone. I can't hear you clearly. Can you move closer to the mic?
So was that me?
Yeah, yeah. You're a bit far
Is
from
it
the
is it
mic.
better now?
Okay, it's better now. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'll write down what you said, Augusti. And then we have one from you, Hyperlight.
Okay.
GM Collate.
Yeah. Okay, I was talking about a great idea on the education session he started, and I think it's a great one. And hopefully, in season 7, I mean, in season 10, during the uh, bull market, we would see lots of projects get uh, started in the DAO, and yeah, hopefully by then we would have lots of project managers who would step up to manage those projects. So I think it's a great one from him, and yeah, I hope it's actually, yeah, that's it. Did you hear me?
GM Collate. And I also added to your comment, highlight. I really think the Thursday education session seems to be doing very well.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I think we did actually touch on these last week.
Yeah.
And I think you, Arkasi, had some good inputs as well on active new talents.
Yeah, and I wish Great was here. I would uh, I would like to chip in a few ideas you should work on in season 10. And yeah, according to what our Kosi said in the last meeting, I kind of like listening to the recording. I feel there should be some sort of learner objective, there should be some success metrics. Essentially, those who attend the session, do what do they achieve? What do you aim to achieve with the attendees? Yeah, so I would hopefully give him a DM and hope he should make the sessions better in future seasons.
Yep, I agree. Kole, do you have anything to add? Or Arkasti? Kole, you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, much more. Yeah, you can say. No, I don't have anything to add. I'm over with you.
Arkasti?
No, nothing to add at this moment.
I think let's just move over to start doing. And these are the same as last week. And I think that, well, both are mine. For me, it's a little bit frustrating when we start the meeting at one time and then people keep dropping in until maybe it's half hour into the meeting. So I'm not sure if that's because people, like the go-to comment is of course that I think people are lazy, but that isn't necessarily the reason for why people are late. So I think we should have it discussed or dialogue, like how do we make it better so everyone's able to meet on time.
Uh, okay, yeah, I had the comment on this. Yeah, meeting times are quite late for me as
Yeah.
well, and we could probably schedule for an earlier time. Yeah, that would be better. I don't know about you, Acosti. How is the timing of the meeting for you? Is the timing okay? Is it late? Is it early?
For me, it would be perfect to have it after the CC meeting.
Exactly. We could just start after the community call. Feel that would be better. It's to be early for me. Or 1 hour after the CC meeting is also cool.
So you mean
Yeah, I was asking, is the call timing great for you? Is it convenient? What are your thoughts? Is it too early? Is it too late for your time zone? Yeah, our costing.
well, it's middle of the day for me, but so are we talking about doing this an hour or 2 hours earlier than now, or some completely different time?
Yeah, my thought was like probably an hour after the community call or after the community call. Yeah, the community call is at 4 p.m. We could probably start at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. UTC.
Yeah, so 5 p.m. UTC, that's when the community call is done, right?
4 p.m. UTC. Yeah, 4
No,
p.m.
the community call starts at 4 p.m., doesn't it?
Yeah, it starts at 4 p.m.
Yeah, so if we start the PM weekly at 5 p.m., that's just after.
Yeah, yeah, that's great too. 5 or 6 p.m. we will just check which time works better for the guild. Yeah, we can just decide. So we can 5 or 6. I think would be great.
It's kind of one of the main challenges with all these time zones.
Mhm.
Gabby, do you have any thoughts?
Not really, GMF, man. I think I'm still okay with the current time, but if there is a change, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, that's
But
great.
is 5 or 6 p.m. UTC good for you, Gabby?
Yeah, 6 p.m. UTC is fine. You get that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay, a poll will do as well. It's great.
I'm afraid it's gonna be early for some people, but it's always a challenge.
Is it early for you? I see you join the community call most times. Is it early for you?
Yeah, for me, it's I would appreciate that because right now it's 8 p.m. on Friday night, and uh, I would like to finish this meeting earlier.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Is there anything else we should stop doing? Should we make some other notes?
You said it's frustrating when members continuously show up late and leave early for the weekly meeting. Can you elucidate more on that?
I think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Your notes on what we should stop doing.
Yeah.
Oaks Plus, it's your notes, your sticky notes. Yeah, that one.
So say again.
Yeah, I read the sticky note above that, which says it's frustrating when members continuously show up late and leave early for the weekly meeting. So, can you talk more on that?
Would you talk?
Yeah, I was asking if you could talk more on that. So,
Oh yeah. Well, for me, it's I think we already kind of discussed it. It's just it's when we have a weekly meeting, we should all be there on time because when when some people are here at on time, but we can't really start a meeting because some people are joining later, then we never really get through the agenda.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's
it could also be that maybe a 1 hour meeting, is it too long? Should it be a half-hour meeting instead and be like straight on the agenda? Uh,
yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, I feel 1 hour is great, and just as I mentioned earlier, the search event does not go up at the right time. I've kind of missed it. I've missed this meeting uh, um, twice or more than twice due to the search event. So most times, once I see the pop up the DM from Sesh, I would just drop into the meeting. Uh, since it didn't go up, I kind of like lose track of time. Don't keep track with the meeting.
Yeah.
For me, that's just my my personal reason.
And I'm sure that there's a lot of good reasons for why people are not able to meet, but then maybe we need to change the time or the length or the format or something about the meeting.
Yeah, we could explore these options as we've decided to move the time a little bit earlier. We would see if our folks would hop in. So I think it's a great one.
This is, I think, is Wednesday, right?
I think that's Makil. Yeah, that's Makil.
Is that much?
Mhm.
Ah. Okay, should we then move to the next? Any objection?
No objection, and if it comes up, I would be sure to let you know.
Yeah, thank you. And we can go back and forth because we're not that many today. So should we start with
I think we should just
collate?
start with the. Okay, collate, yeah.
Collate, do you have a? I'll read and then you can elaborate.
Okay.
What we should start: create interactive guides or materials that engage new members, then provide a clear understanding of the project management process. Collate, can you? Do you have anything to add? Anyone else? Oh, there you go, Collate.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So yeah. What I mean about the creative interactive guide is for instance, when we are bonding, us we about um just talk about the project management from what we know and we them around the board institution to see how the governance, how the guild operates, how tasks are being taken and are being done. So I was just giving an idea instead of doing that, just basically have a fixed interactive guide, like something like a slide. I don't know if you've seen I think they do this in marketing department when they are onboarding a new member. They use one kind of like presentation, and all they just do is read along and explain things that is on the slide, which makes it new members incorporate that kind of an idea to project management and apply this idea, implement it in the season 10 so that it will even make the boarding session more easier.
You're a little bit rugged, Collate, but I got that there's some example from the marketing department.
And
Is that something that you could provide for us and then share in the PM General?
yeah,
Is that okay?
Yeah, I could. All right. For example, share on the PM. Can you hear me close?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You were rugged for a little bit, but you're back.
All right. So yeah, that's okay. So I'll just reach out to you and we could see. I'll provide the docs.
Perfect. Thank you, Kole. Any other comments on this one? If not, moving over to your note, Arcasti. Set the goal of doing 4 or more PM Guild updates on the CC next season. I think that's a great KPI to have. Anything you want to add, Arcasti?
I guess one thing I would add is maybe we should like kind of do like create kind of like a schedule or plan for what, because that's like roughly once a month, but have kind of a schedule or a plan of what would be the subject of each of those updates, and how, and that would kind of fit in with what the guild was working on.
Yeah, thanks
Because
very
like
much. Yeah. Go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead.
because yeah, I know I think like one of the first times I heard, I know Oak Forest, you did an update a few weeks ago, and that's kind of the first time that I sort of heard what the product management guild was doing. But I don't recall like when, if there had been any updates prior to that for a while. So I think it's good, but I think it would be good to have like a plan to be uh, kind of doing a regular update, but not necessarily every week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fully
you
agree with
are
you.
right, Arkosti. It was an idea I also talked to Makila about, and we've started the slide. So in next season, we'll be having the updates for the community. That's on the community call at least twice a month. So he set up a bounty for that. So anyone that would like to create the slide, essentially I created the slide and I've set it up. You just need to impute the updates and add it on the CC slides. So once it's added there, the community call lead, which is Anointing Thompson, would decide if uh, you should be on the slide, and if he doesn't find it worthy, he can take it off at his own, just his own decision. So the slides are ready. I'll be sharing it with Oaks Plus as well, and hopefully next season we'll be having updates for the DAO twice in a month. So he set the bounty of 2,000 banks for that. I don't know if, yeah, that's okay. And essentially, if he was on the call, I would have suggested he split the bounty into two. Uh, Instead of giving the 2,000 banks to just me for creating the slides, I would say he gives just 1,000 banks to me for making the slides, and 1,000 bank would go to anyone who is available on the community call that day to present. So if you're available, you can claim the bounty, 1,000 banks or 500 banks, I don't know, and do the presentation to the community. So yeah, I think it's another way of getting our members, the PM Guild members involved. So does that make sense, Arcosti?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I have the slides ready. I can drop it in the chat, and if you need edit access, I can grant you edit access. Yeah. So next season we're having the update twice. 1,000 banks would be to me for creating the slides, and hopefully 1,000 bank will go to anyone who is available to present it on the community call. Oxford, does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Is it correct what I wrote? You have created a slide for the CC, and there's 1K bank in bounty, of course. Bounty for preparing the slide, and 1K bank for presenting at the call. So this is bi-weekly.
Yeah, exactly. Bi-weekly. Yeah.
And I want to add, because I just made something that I want us to start. But where did I have? Yeah, it's a big bit long thing. I would like us to start. I'm not sure if annual wheel makes sense in English. In Norwegian, we call it the annual wheel, and it kind of sets the plan for when we are going to do everything we need to do throughout the year. And for us, a seasonal wheel would be the same. And in the seasonal wheel, we'd say bi-weekly or once a month, have participate in the CC call, when to start preparing proposal for next season, and when preparing votes for next season role holders and so forth. Is a seasonal wheel, does that make sense in English?
I don't really get that. Can you come again? I think we should.
You can still. So this is what I'm talking about. Can you see? Is this big enough to see? Wait. So if you see, this is the calendar. So this is the annual wheel. So it's the plan for all the things that needs to be done throughout a year. But we are working season by season, so we would need to adjust it to maybe have. I think there's 16 weeks in the season, so we would have to make like 16 of these, and then we will put in the participation in the CC meeting, and when we are going to have election for role holders and everything that we know we need to do every year.
Yeah, I like this idea. I like it. It makes sense, and I like the templates as well. Yeah, it's a good one.
I like the idea too. I guess, uh, I don't know how the translation comes across, but like we always tend to look at a schedule as kind of linear. But this is something else where, because there's like a lot of activities that kind of repeat. And I guess you could kind of compare that to like planting and harvesting and whatever in farming, but like to represent that as a circle is a way of looking at that, or a circle or a wheel. Because I totally get it, but it's like kind of at the same time it's a sort of a new concept to me, because I think we've always, or at least I've always seen a schedule expressed linearly. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts on that.
I think for me the most important thing is not if it's a wheel or a linear plan or what, but that it's an easily accessible plan, and it should be visible in our Notion page on the front page, I think. And maybe we could attach a bounty to keep it updated. For me, I'm always surprised when the season ends. So it ends on this coming Monday, and I had no idea. Although I should know. And some people, I know the information is available. I'm just not good at keeping track on it. So yeah. And maybe we could. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I agree with that, and I think that it would probably also be a place because there's things that need to happen, uh, like on a certain week of each season. Like I guess doing the budget proposal, and we've got like maybe like the biweekly update. So it could also be like, so we could track those items and the dates, but also maybe like also track like maybe who's kind of responsible for the tasks on that too, so that we know like, something's coming up, and no, I don't know who's working on it because there's no name associated with that reoccurring function.
And that could also be a good way to give tasks to newcomers who wants to be involved.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anyone else have any comments to these two notes? We move towards Innovator 3's comments. It could help the PM Guild assess ideas and project being submitted using the work done, a framework document created by Oaksource and Innovator 3 on the market assessment task. So this is for the, well, I guess it's you, Kosti, but I've shared it to everyone. The market assessment template that Innovator 3 and myself has made for the last couple of weeks. That's something that we can use in the guild if we want to start a new project. And then the other for Innovator 3, ask Bankless DAO to be brave, face the budget reductions, and start offering services to other DAOs when navigating the Web3 grand landscape. It would be a great PM Guild project, and more important, it looks increasingly necessary. Treasury levels won't increase by cost cutting; they will only increase through revenue generation. Now, I feel that that's a very good point. We need to. I think we have lots of skills and services that we could sell outside of Bankless DAO to generate revenues. I know Bankless Consulting has been doing it for some while. I think if we create a good environment for PMs to new PMs to learn skills and more seasonal PMs to excel, it's something that we can learn from in the future. Any comments or thoughts on Innovator 3's post?
Yeah, for the second sticky note, I think that should go to the grants committee. But he said we should ask Bankless DAO to be brave, face the budget reduction, and start offering services to other DAOs. I think the GC has kind of like drastically reduced the budget asks for guilds. I don't know if that's what he's talking about. And guilds no longer asks for funding based on the number of members, but rather based on the value they provide. So I think they've thought about that, and the second part of the note, he said treasury levels won't increase by cutting costs; they will only increase through revenue generation. And feel the only way the DAO can generate revenue or would be able to generate revenue if it is through projects and not through guilds. According to the what's it called, the constitution, the guilds are essentially talent pools where members come in, upskill themselves, and export themselves to projects uh, or create their own projects, and yeah, essentially help the DAO generate revenue through these projects. So I think it's a good one. We should look forward to upskilling members in the guild, and uh, I don't know, according to links, he said guilds should sort of like push their members to think and come up with projects. And according to him, he said the DAO is ready to fund these project ideas if uh, if they are viable. So yeah, I think it makes sense, and hopefully in season 10 we should kind of like work towards that. Uh, Skill members, make them better, and let them put them in the best way to set up the project and request for funding. And according to them, if you've locked your bank, you have a TL bank, then yeah, it's an easy ask if you are not requesting for too much funding. So if you have those ideas, you can write them down and request for funding for a project. Yeah, that's it for me.
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to write down everything, but
Yeah,
during your what you
I
said,
think I think you got the point. Yeah, you got the point essentially.
yeah, yeah. Should we plan for having a ideation? Is that I can see that it's spelled wrongly, but that's okay.
Yeah,
An
it's
ideation.
correct. Ideation, yeah, it's correct.
Oh, thank you. Sessions like so, because I'm sure like we have a lot of ideas, to spin up some ideas for projects, and then the ones of us feel like ownership and drive towards an idea, we can gather a group of fellow PM members and start exploring.
Yeah. Essentially, that's what. Yeah, that would work. We can set up a session for that. Uh, Essentially, write down the ideas, and I know once you write down ideas and you can communicate them clearly, it makes it easier and better for you to kind of like understand the whole process. So if members can have a session to brainstorm on ideas and write them down, and if we can get those ideas together and see a way to provide or create value for the Web3 space, the the Web3 space in general, then yeah, I think the grants committee would surely fund such ideas or projects. So having such sessions makes sense to me.
Anyone else? Yeah, Christy.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that this innovator. I can't. Is it innovator 3 or innovator 8?
Just say innovator. That's fine.
Innovator. Well, okay. Well, I'm fine with that. I mean, this kind of got me thinking about how, like, a lot of kind of the future direction is sort of hinged on whatever this impending proposal include, or not, like the HQ DAO thing that's happening. But at the same time, I think that we should keep I guess it's there's a lot of uncertainty, but I think we should keep the momentum going. And I think it's good to, like, have to have the idea session, so that there's once things are more clear, we have a lot of things that we can then consider and select, like, which are the best options to proceed forward with, instead of just kind of waiting around to see what's happening. Because it is sort of a strange time, and we're not really sure exactly what things are going to look like in the future. But hopefully we'll have a lot of ideas to implement when everything is more clear.
I think times like this, when everything is a little bit falling apart, it's a very good time to do that assessment of who are we, what are we doing, and what do we want to do. Because everything of this is what do we want to make out of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've been thinking a little bit with these last, like, 10 minutes. What do you guys think about exploring, like, change our weekly meetings a little bit? Because we have this task that we go through every week, but I've been thinking that maybe we could have that maybe every other week, and then we set aside time for example, doing ideation, doing more retros, and doing, like, other things that we could do. Maybe have work sessions together on some projects where we're stuck or want to explore new routes, and then do more async coordination where needed, and then of course every other week have a walkthrough of these tasks.
I guess it would be worth trying something like that. I don't have much experience in attending these meetings, so I don't know how they've gone in the past. But maybe it would be worth trying out.
Gabby, what do you think?
I think we should just try it out and see how we go from there. There, where people can come around with different ideas on how we can progress as a guild and all of that. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, and from there we can see how we progress as a guild.
Uh, Oxlos, speaking of
Yeah.
the uh, seasonal acts, are you aware that guilds are only allowed to ask as much as only 240k banks? So how is the how as role loaders are you guys gonna work with that? Is it something you guys have thought of among yourselves? How you would, because now the budget is going to be very, very tight. So, have you thought of that?
No, we haven't.
Oh, okay, great.
Sorry for my answer, but we
I,
haven't
I
discussed
think
that.
it's something that is worth discussing. As yeah, I think the budget is going to be very, very, very tight, and probably it might even stop the coordinates. Yeah, so I think the guild should think of that, and probably the bounties would now be sort of like, I don't know, probably paid retroactively, so we don't exceed the budget of the season. So I think, and we have 4 months in the season, and 240k banks. So I think it's gonna be a very, very tight one. And yeah, as innovator said, it's 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 cool if guilds in general would come up with those ideas, come up with projects, request uh, for funds to support the guild and the project as well. So I think, and the PM meeting, there is a space for what's it called? The discussion. We could probably just rename that to brainstorming, so we know at, at the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes, we could just uh, take that time to brainstorm on your idea. If you have an idea, you've put it down, you could just take that time to brainstorm on it, and uh, um, and see possible way forward. So yeah, that's just my take on that.
And that I think I've actually been thinking on it for a while. I really like the way of checking in with all the different tasks once a week. But I think that format also makes one person, the person leading the meeting, talk a lot, and that's natural. But I feel one thing that we could improve on is activity during the meetings. Very often it's 1, 2, 3 people who's very active, but we are a community, and I think we are way more valuable when everyone participate on a regular basis in the meetings, in the discussions, and everything.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. But as much as you wish for that, I don't think it's that possible to have everyone engaged. Yeah, and if you check in the DAO, we have lots of members who have the PM Guild role tag, and they are not interested in the PM Guild. So I think it's something we should get used to. As Links would always say, it's better to have 5 people who are active and interested and engaged than have 20 people and have only just 5 people engaging. So it's better we have 5 who are active and ready to engage, and the crowd who are not really interested in whatever is going on in the guild.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we are actually on the hour.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more you want to go through today, Hablai?
No, I think it was a nice session, nice talk in the guild. And I think it's the last one for the season, last call for the season, unfortunately. And we didn't have most members. But it's great we are able to jot down these ideas and yeah. And for for the sake of next time during the retro, I think you should just move the action items to another part of the board. I like the fact you
Yeah,
use a different color of Sika, but I think they should just be together at another part of the board, which is the third portion. Yeah.
I agree. I'll move.
Okay. Yeah.
Arkasya, do you have anything to add?
No, I guess just so our next meeting is going to be on January 5th. Or is it going to be the same time now, or are we, or do we need to make a vote or something to change it? Or should we start at the same time and then try to change it for the next one?
I think maybe yeah, we should start with it at the same time, and then have a poll once everyone's back from gap week.
Uh, for me, I would say we just decide that in the chat. We could just put the text up and see people's reaction to the time, and then set up a poll in the chat. So next season we just start with a new time. I see Links has deleted the search event, so we would just set it up at the same time.
Okay.
What do you think? Does that make sense, Arkosi?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's okay. You can just label it as action items, the orange board together in one part and named action item.
Okay, yeah, then I guess the other thing is that, like, so hopefully they publish this proposal that's supposedly near completion next week, and then maybe we have the break to think about it, and everyone can think about their ideas of come up with ideas for what to work on next season.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be great.
Because yeah, I think that's a good kind of good use of the break.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted with all these notes. Arkas, can you say that again?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just saying that. So hopefully the proposal that's almost complete between the HQ and the DAO. Yeah. That hopefully that is released next week, and so that would give us kind of the break to think about, like, well, how does that impact us, and what kind of projects and proposals and things can we bring to think about for next season.
Yeah.
And hopefully this 2-week break gives us a little time to reflect on that.
It would be
So
very
that
nice to have that format.
So we're ready to go next year.
Okay, I have to get going. Co-lady, I saw you just unmuted. Do you have anything you want to say?
I don't have anything to say. I was just going to ask what's the conclusion. We're not meeting next week, so we're having gap week. That means we're ending the seasons.
Next meeting is January 5th.
Yeah. So
I think
thank you very much. Uslos, for taking your time to run this retrospective, and it was a great last meeting, and I am super pumped for next season. I believe the guild would come up with amazing things, amazing ideas next season. So thank you very much, PM Guild Strong.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Hippolyte.
yeah,
Thank you, guys.
thank you, Hypolite, for that encouragement. Yeah, thank you, Oak Forest, for running the retrospective in the meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Carcassian and Khalid and or Gabby got lost, but I think it's been a nice meeting. Like you said, Hippolyte, it's
Mhm.
good with few active and many listening in and only a few active.
Yeah.
It's been a good season and it's gonna be a great season 10.
Yeah. I believe so too. So,
Yeah.
I'll be dropping off. Enjoy your holiday season. Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, fans.
Same. Goodbye.